Motivation is a word we hear often, but what exactly is motivation and why do we do what we do? And when motivation fails, how do we fix it? As a mindset coach, I've witnessed the immense power of motivation. I've seen it transform lives, propel people towards their dreams, and sustain them through the toughest challenges. But in its simplest form, motivation is nothing but it's a driving force behind our actions. It's what turns intention into action. However, not all motivation is created equal. It exists on a spectrum, influenced by both internal and external factors. For instance, when you study hard to win a scholarship or work late hours hoping for a promotion, you're driven by external motivation. While these rewards are powerful, their impact is often short-lived. Once the external reward, be it a scholarship, promotion, or even the threat of losing something, is removed, the motivation often fades. Ask yourself, if you were guaranteed a promotion regardless of your performance, would you still work as hard? Or if you were assured a spot in your desired college, would you still push yourself in the admissions test? The answer is likely no, and rightly so. If you truly want to create lasting change and elevate your life, you need to leverage internal motivation. Unlike external motivation, internal motivation is driven by personal satisfaction, a sense of achievement, or this intrinsic enjoyment of the activity itself. And this type of motivation is sustainable because it's rooted in our personal values and desires. It may evolve over time, but it will continue to manifest itself in different ways throughout your life. For example, when I first began learning about human behaviors and mindsets, my motivation was initially personal. I wanted to understand why I do what I do. But over time, that motivation grew into a desire to help others overcome their own challenges. And this led me to pursue a career in coaching and to share my insights through this YouTube channel. More recently, I've realized that my motivation also stems from a desire to teach my future generation, my future children, how to navigate their own challenges with greater ease. And this deeper why is what drives me to go to the gym each morning and work late into the evening. It's basically leading by example, not just words. However, the greatest obstacle to our motivation often comes from a source we least expect, which is ourselves. So self-oppression is the condition where we allow our own negative thoughts and actions to restrict us. None of us want to be the cause of our own failure, yet most often we are. It's our own inept thinking and bad habits that drain the vibrancy from life. We are the ultimate oppressors of our own happiness. We stay home rather than going out because anxiety holds us back. We procrastinate on important assignments or exciting new ventures because we can't overcome the uncertainty. We convince ourselves that we must be perfect before we release our art into the world, when in reality it's our lack of discipline that stops us from getting things done. But it's not all doom and gloom. Just as we can be our own oppressors, we can also be our own saviors. By mastering our mind and making intentional effort, we can experience the freedom, the joy, the happiness that we deserve. Now, this is why we seek personal growth, to be free from the pain we cause ourselves, to make better choices, to feel confident in who we are becoming, and to act more decisively in our lives. Yet, motivation isn't always easy to maintain, especially when it comes to tasks that we don't enjoy. You might love the outdoors but find yourself stuck in this 9 to 5 job. Or you might be passionate about your work but dread the thought of coming back home and having to cook dinner after a long day. While your job might be supported by that intrinsic motivation, household chores might not feel motivating at all. So how do you build intrinsic motivation for tasks that you have to do but don't necessarily want to do? To build positive internal motivation for such activities, we need to focus on 3 key elements: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. I'll go quickly over these. Autonomy is when you have control over your actions and your decisions. You're more likely to engage in activities that are meaningful and enjoyable to you. Now, this personal investment in the task makes you passionate about setting and achieving goals. Second is competence. This is the feeling of being effective or capable in any activity. When you feel competent, you're more willing to try new things, which leads to a sense of accomplishment and progress, further fueling your motivation. And third is relatedness. This involves feeling cared for, understood, and valued by those around you. When you feel connected to others, you're more likely to engage in activities that enhance these relationships. For me, relatedness is at the heart of why I have this channel and why I'm speaking to you today. However, relatedness can also have a downside. It can sometimes lead us to compromise our own dreams in favor of more secure, socially accepted path. Think about it. How many times have the goals of your parents, teachers, or spouse become your own? How often have you sacrificed your integrity to fit in or to be liked by others? Now, this is why it's crucial to understand the why behind our actions. The more true we are to ourselves, the better we can connect and contribute to the world. So, how can we use autonomy, competence, and relatedness to build positive internal motivation for activities we don't naturally enjoy? And the answer lies in 3 strategies. Number 1, understand your locus of control. Your locus of control is your belief about whether you are in control of your actions and their outcomes. For example, a child who is always praised for being smart may grow up expecting things to come easily. When faced with difficult situations, their resilience may be lower than someone who has been taught to work hard for their achievements. So, by understanding your locus of control, you can build competence and improve your motivation. Second, leverage your personal manifesto. Often our low intrinsic motivation and bad habits drain the joy from life. We become our own worst enemies, avoiding important tasks due to the fear of anxiety. But we can motivate ourselves to grow and find happiness again by creating a personal manifesto, a list of things that bring us joy and why. This helps us find meaning even in tasks we don't love. For example, you can build motivation for a 9-to-5 job if it funds your passion for art, allowing you to paint or cook in the evenings. And number 3 is build motivators into habits. Motivation is temporary, but knowing your why creates momentum, which is more lasting. Momentum comes from a series of habits that build consistency. If you rely solely on motivation, it might get you to the gym a couple of times, but not for the rest of the month. To keep your motivation alive, you need momentum, and that only comes by making it a habit. And I am happy to chat and see what is stopping you from finding your motivation and that drive, and hopefully helping you make it a habit. So reach out and let's talk. But that's all for this video. I will see you in this next video that you wouldn't want to miss. But until then, bye.